24 Hours of Daytona has reclaimed its traditional position as an international motor race in every sense of the word. Yes, it's 24 hours, and yes, of course, that in itself makes reliability absolutely essential. Some people say it's not the hardest of 24-hour races, but what you have is that incessant speed, the concentration levels that the drivers need when they're on the high banks of the NASCAR turns is extraordinary. The challenges start with the time and end with just basically getting the car to the checkered flag.
You know, I've done 24, 25 of the Rolex 24s, and when you look at what goes into this race, you got to do all the preparation before you get to the track. The majority of that is what takes place back at the shop where nobody sees. We talk about it's all about the watch, which is a winning watch here.
What makes the Rolex 24 so special is just the history. A lot of drivers coming from different disciplines around the world, different classes, different types of cars, and it's a bit of a reunion.
I think it's just such a historic event. Obviously the Rolex sponsorship and the Daytona Rolex you win at the end of the race has kind of become like a staple that every driver wants to have in their trophy cabinet. On top of it being with the opening race of the season, the motor racing season, attracts some of the best talent, the best teams from around the world. So just all in all, hell of an event, hell of a prize at the end if you can win it.
So I've done this race 4 times before. My last one was 2017. So yeah, missed the race. It's good to come back. It's pretty cool the way the Americans do stuff and letting everyone come in, and the garage is so busy. It's pretty full on, but the way they involve the crowd and fan engagement and everything's really cool.
So preparing for a 24-hour race like this, I would say if you're prepared physically, the mental side kind of comes with experience. I've done Daytona 24-hour 5 times now. It's my second year with AIM Vasser-Sullivan, so it's nice to be able to come back with a team you've done it before. Everything kind of flows and works together nicely.
Expectations to win. You want to go out there and be able to win, have a shot to win. I think the biggest expectation for all of us just needs to be to take care of the car, keep the car on the racetrack, and keep it out of the dirt, make sure we do the right things, and putting yourself in a bad spot is not going to be worth it.
It's cool, I love the morning, race day morning. Usually get to the track about 9 o'clock. We have an autograph session around 10:30, 11, drivers meeting just before that. So the time kind of goes quite quickly. It doesn't feel like you're standing around for too long. And then for me, I don't usually get in the car till 3 or 4 hours in. So I can rest up, stay relaxed during the early parts of the race, and just prepare for when I get in.
I think I'm going to be a lot better at managing it. Last year I was so jazzed and excited. I remember after my first stint I wanted to go back and take a rest at the motorhome, and I just stayed up until like 2 a.m. when I got back in the car. So I think this year I'm going to be just a little more mellow, a little more relaxed for it.
Well, we're only the end of January, but already the blue ribband event that is the Rolex 24 of Daytona is just a few moments away. I think I'm more revved up than the drivers at the moment as we go green for 2020 season opener for IMSA.
This is probably the best start I've ever seen here in all the years I've come here. Shooting up the outside, and it's like the world just opens up for the taking.
Traffic is very tight in this early stage of the race.
Fastest lap after fastest lap.
It's pretty crazy. Everyone's racing like it's a sprint race, and you're trying to do your best to stay in position and gain position.
Endurance racing is a set of sprint races linked by stops for tyres and fuel.
Early on in the race, there's not a lot to win. You're going to have to do brake changes, field will bunch up when you have a safety car. There's a lot of stuff which happens early on which kind of negates any advantage you can gain on the track, so early on.
So who's going to take the bigger risk? The guy who makes the overtake? The guy who's trying to stay with their own class leader? Those are the split-second decisions that the drivers are making every lap. what it is about night racing, but the cars seem to sound a little more racy. There seems to be a little more atmosphere. Racing in the dark brings a whole other character and atmosphere into it. All of your other senses are sharpened up to compensate for the fact that you can't see quite as well.
At night, I really enjoy the night stints, late night, mainly because it's just so calm. Everyone's driving really smart and just trying to get through the night. Engineer doesn't normally speak much, it's pretty relaxing, and you just go out there and drive and enjoy it normally.
You hope you're well rested from the night before, and obviously it's a bit weird driving at 1 in the morning. You wouldn't normally be doing that in a race, so once you get out there and the adrenaline's going, you don't really notice the difference. It just feels like any other race, if I'm being honest.
The spotlight in any motor race tends to fall on the driver or drivers here. They can't do their job without the crew. What you don't see is the hours before the race, sometimes up to and including the night before the race, and those guys get no break. There's 4 or 5 drivers here, there's not 4 or 5 sets of pit crew. The real heroes for me, always the pit crew.
On fire this morning, JP.
Great, isn't it? You mentioned the Gulf colours late last night, and they're back again.
Beautiful, beautiful morning.
Much of the race, we felt like we were in really good shape, in contention. We ran up as high as the top 5, middle of the night, got past halfway, and we were in good shape. Unfortunately, Daytona threw us some curveballs like it usually does for most, and we felt one, but we recovered and still came away with the top 10, completed the 24 hours as a team, and it felt really good.
Not the result we were looking for, but I have to say the number 12 Lexus RCF GT3 car was really hooked up last night, actually. We were running really well. Frankie made a great start the race off, and then all the drivers honestly did a great job. We were running in the top 5, top 3 some of the time. Just unfortunate circumstances last night with the tricky conditions with the cold tires. Let's pick it back up and then go to Sebring and get some redemption there.